An employee or a broker?
Yeah.
Maybe you just put the camera on his end. He doesn't seem to know the
Ah,
start of
the
shows.
lady with the okay, never mind. Yeah, good for them. That's a good sign, Mike. Anyways, all right. So great day. Great to see you back, Gabriel. We're really excited about it. I said last week that I thought that we were really productive without you, but it wasn't like directed at you that you slow us down. I think that you maybe motivated us by being at Walt Disney World. Maybe we envied you in some way. Is that possible? And then we worked harder to try to have your situation in the future. Is that possible, Mike?
I think that when the pressure was getting high, that we had to deal with the situation, and we dealt with it. Period. And that's what we did.
That's what we did. So
So,
we're happy to see you back.
no,
You're,
but that's what we had to do. I mean, we weren't. Listen, we had less manpower on the boat, but the boat still needed to be navigated.
that's right. The boat kept on floating. The boat
You
kept
know,
on moving forward. So we want to share some numbers. And maybe before I share the numbers,
how was your trip?
let's talk about that for a second.
the trip.
How did you enjoy Walt Disney World?
It was good to see what the fuss was all about. Kids had a great time. I would not go again because it was more of a constant exercise more than a vacation. But no, definitely. I was very impressed with their organization.
Yes.
Right, tens of thousands of people daily, but still, you don't really ever feel the crowd.
And you
ever.
know that a lot of people, a lot of companies send their employees or their management teams to go to I forget what it's called. I think the Disney Disney University or program or customer service program. I'm not sure what it is, but it's a great company to study.
And another thing I want to
Definitely.
ask you, Gabriel, you said that there was tens of thousands of people that were there.
Yep.
You used to be a broker full time before. Would you consider that place as being an opportunity to meet people, an opportunity to be able to connect?
Yeah, I always wanted to meet Mickey and sell our houses.
No,
That's
not
what you
Mickey.
say.
The people at the park. I guess is what you're
Yeah.
saying.
I would say no, actually. Everybody, no, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you
This
why.
guy.
So, because I just went, right? But don't forget, I went in peak season and at the heat of the heat.
Right.
And people don't necessarily want to talk business
No,
when it's
not
plus
business. You're
47.
mixing up. You're not
Building
selling.
relationships.
Exactly.
No,
You're in
no, but
line.
even then,
You got a kid.
no.
Oh, she's so cute. What's her name? What's that little girl's
The
name?
thing is that you would tell me that when my kid is screaming in my ears and the other two are pulling my legs.
No, you wouldn't.
I'm not gonna be. Oh well, actually.
And then what you do is like, oh, let me help you out, like,
Yeah.
and do
Or you got
faces.
something in common.
Right.
Our kids get along.
Yeah.
Why don't we go on a next ride together?
You do magic tricks, and
You can
you
go on
just-
one ride while they keep your
You're
kids,
describing
you
a
know?
predator. It's
no, but you're right because people are in a good mood. So if you're at the restaurant, you shoot the shit with the people beside you. You're waiting in line. It's great. It's a
Then you
great
ask
way
them where
to.
you're from.
Yes.
Then you tell them where you're from, and then you exchange.
Yeah, what do you do?
numbers.
What do you do for a living?
Yeah.
But that's
Maybe
the
not
kind of.
outside.
But that's the kind of mentality you have to have as a real estate broker.
100%.
You gotta not
Just
sell,
not at Disney.
but be open to exchange and meet new people.
I don't think it's at Disney. I think it's anywhere. If you have an opportunity to meet with
Yes.
somebody,
Yeah, you should.
anything can turn into an opportunity.
I agree.
Yeah, if you know how to approach them, 100%.
You don't have to know how. You just know how as a human being. How do you make friends? How do you meet new people?
You can't say you just know naturally. A lot of people are extremely introverts.
There's
They
not
need
one
to work on
person
it.
that I know that doesn't have one friend in their life. That doesn't have an uncle, an aunt, a sister, a brother, a cousin, someone.
Well, now you're mixing friendship with biology, but for the friendship,
But
maybe
they,
there are-
no, but the biology, as you call it, which is kind of a weird way of saying it, but
well, aunt and uncle. It's not
is you still have to interact with
It's
them,
still a
right?
relation.
There you go.
not necessarily.
Yes, necessarily. So, with that said, I agree with you, Mike. You,
Aren't you happy I'm back?
it's great to have you back. So, I wanted to share numbers with you guys because we did a little exercise today and we came out to, and we do this periodically. It's important. It's important to look at the numbers. I look at them on an almost daily way, but we shared that we were at 93 signed contracts this year so far after 8 months. And that's the same as if you as a real estate broker went to get 93
Listing.
transactions or listings, but these are signed, closed, delivered. So that's pretty impressive. And what we want to do is share how we attain that. How did we get that number of transaction in 8 months, which is a short amount of time to have that many transaction. And we're not counting other stuff that we do, but just to give you an idea, in order to get those 90 some, we had 1,000. How much? What was it? 1,300.
1,300, yeah.
exactly.
13 other 100 people that we've met. So out of that 1,300 something, 93, after a while, they finally accepted or signed the contract, which gives a conversion of what, 6?
6.5%. Yeah.
Which is not bad. When I always talk about the 2%, but that gives you a closer to 6%. And so I pulled some other numbers here in order to sort of assess the amount of work that's required to get to that number of transaction. And remember, this is just myself and Mike, who joined 3 months ago to get there. No, you were helping out too.
Yep.
But your primary role was, oh no, it was for a certain
No, it
amount.
was
So, but
for
it's
itself,
so
yeah.
it's like the work of two individual in a way.
True.
So it's not as if we're 13 people working on getting those. So let's use 40 some transaction, 45 transaction per person, but it's mainly all me. So so let's stay with the 93, and it was all me. No, but everybody else has different roles and different things in the organization, but that's a lot. That's a lot for one or two person to do. So I encourage you to do our event on the 31st of August. I keep saying 30th of August. I said this many other days last week and just before on the French version. So it's not the 30th of August. It's the 31st of August and the 1st of September. We're going to do an online, how to generate online leads, how to nurture leads. I'm not talking about cold calling and door knocking here. I'm talking about just using social media to get business. And because primarily that's how we got those 93 conversion or 93 transaction. So other numbers I wanted to share is where I'm going with this is that it took 23,025 calls to confirm appointments or to touch base or to follow up or and so on and so forth. 34,257. This is mixed up texting, DMing. 27,537 emails. That's insane when you think of these numbers, huh?
Yeah.
Did you think we did that many emails and that many texts and calls? And
I knew we did a lot, but at some point I just stopped counting. I think I focused more on the task of getting it done, and then we'll figure out the numbers later on. I think if we get too obsessed with numbers, we tend to miss the goal.
But I do get obsessed with one very important number, Mike, and it's every day I come to see you and I say, how many emails did we send out? How many calls did we make? How many text messages did you follow up with 100 different people? Did you DM them? Because that's where these numbers come out. They have to be that. And I just today, as an example, did 100 something text messages, emails, DMs.
Yeah.
Because it's important that I know that the volume we have to get that volume to get.
Yeah,
to
we
that
get
number.
the volume, but I mean, the same way that when you say that we have our task and we have our things that we have to do, so we know, like we've gotten to the point where we know what we have to tackle, in one particular day. And
do we? No, but we still have to be reminded. We have to be reminded.
True, but we know what we have to tackle. If we do it, then there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to reach our
But
goal.
it's easy to get sidetracked though with other things in the organization of, or the tweaking of this, or the reviewing the file, or the learning about
trying to perfect something that doesn't need to be perfected. I think we need to do more and focus less on perfection.
And these numbers, Gabriel, are not through perfecting nothing. It's all not perfect. Trust me on that, because every day I'm telling myself, we talk about, I wish we could do this better. Or I wish we could tweak that better. And some links don't work to certain things and documents and campaigns. And some people we don't follow up promptly, or like you have like 4 or 5 people from Friday that still haven't been answered. And that drives me insane.
Me? No, everybody's been answered.
We'll talk about it after, but these things we're not doing nothing in a perfect way. We just do a lot of outbound communication, and that's what I want everybody to remember here. It's the number of outbound communication, the being proactive, as I call it. That's the most important. Do we have any comments, questions? It's time to ask those questions. How the hell did we do that? If I'm listening and someone's saying they did 93 transactions, I want to know more. And your opportunity, your chance is that we're gonna tell you exactly how on the 31st of August and the 1st of September. But why am I doing that, Mike?
But you know what? What's motivating?
Why am I doing that?
You're doing it because when you put yourself into something, you go at 150% all the time. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a bet. It doesn't matter what it is. You want to win. So if a challenge is put on the table, you're going to go at it at 150%, and that's just the way you are. So the example that you lead by is that when you tell somebody, listen, we should do this and do that, the fact is that you do it already. So people just have to look at your example of what you're doing, and it's easy for them to be able to turn around and follow suit with it.
So this is the first time we're going to actually open it up to just anybody. If you're interested, come and text us to reserve a spot. Do we have any questions or comment?
Yeah, we had
Mr.?
Brittany here that was asking about the leads. That was asking you what would be the main skill that you need to be able to generate leads.
You need a mouth. You need to be able to communicate. That's the most important thing, is how you communicate. It's not the message per se. It's more about you just got to be outgoing and proactive.
But you know what? A lot of people are asking themselves.
I think you're too high or
what
blocking
what
them.
motivates you? What motivates you exactly?
Motivates me.
Yeah. What keeps you going?
Money. The smell of cash. There's many things that motivate. My family motivates me. My legacy motivates me. But most importantly, I would say it's the giving back part. Like, I wish I would have had someone that could have helped me out more and shared all this. Because remember, guys, when I started 20 years ago, there's no internet. So the only people you can learn from is your agency director. For the most part, none of them are really too proactive and willing to, or they don't know themselves how to actually generate the business. So, and or you have other brokers that you're trying to learn from, but they're not too excited about sharing how they're doing it for the most part. I'm talking about 20 years ago. So I just wish someone would have helped me out. And now with the technology, with social media, with all this free way of communicating, I want to give back because I attained quite the success, if you want, in real estate, in this industry, in different businesses, different kinds
But
of.
when
I just want to give back. I want brokers to not have the situation which was like mine, which was they struggle, they're stressed out of their brains, they lose all their hair, like me, the mortgage, the cars, I'm always trying to get the next lead. Like, it's tiring. So
But when you say there was no internet, I mean there was internet. I mean there was dial-up.
no,
And then there was
no, but we didn't use it. I didn't even have a cell phone when I started. I had a pager. That was the technology. So we didn't have access to it. You could read books, but the books were all dated 30 years
But
back.
what I'm saying is that people were still successful within the realm that they were dealing with.
Yeah, but they didn't have that. What I'm saying is that today you can have a system in place. You can have a real business where it generates opportunities, it generates leads. Like every morning, I am excited to open my phone and see, well, how many leads came in? Like, how many names do I have more? Is the database growing? Like, what are the communication? I opened my CRM and I check out this. To me is exciting because it's a system. It's not dependent upon me doing door knocking or cold calling, which is just manual.
So it's the automation that comes along with
Well,
it.
I love the building the system. I love the automation. I love to use technology, the artificial intelligence, everything you can do with the automation is just, for me,
It keeps you going.
it's building a sales funnel, which
Yeah.
is fantastic. So I want to share that back. And so the 31st of August and the 1st of September, if you're interested, text me. The number's on the screen. Any other questions or comments as he's falling asleep? Because it's almost nap time.
It's past now, actually.
Gabriel was at the gym at 5 a.m. waiting for me this morning, which was quite surprising. I was quite impressed, I have to say. Now, it doesn't mean that because he went there at 5 that he
You can't
worked out
stop
hard.
at the compliment. That's crazy.
The rest of the day was more of a what do we call it? A casual go along, take your time kind of a day. But
It's the usual. It's okay. It's all good.
is there a question or a comment?
So,
Or
yeah,
are we done?
I was waiting for you to finish. your
Oh,
comment.
sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. We have one last question here that came in from Jesse, who's saying, "What? Let me just read it here." You saying on the why is it on 2 days? Can I just show up for one?
Yeah, sorry. Thank you for asking that question, Jesse. It's actually 2 days just to give two groups a chance to follow. It's a 3 hour session on the 31st, and then for another group, it's the same training again on the 1st of September for another 3 hours. In between that 3 hours, we're gonna break for a few minutes to return calls and texts. And
I think it's important to reiterate also that the fact that this is actually a courtesy of yours of actually giving that, that kind of training for free, because this is not something that may come back again.
no, well, it's yeah, that's a good point of bringing that. The reason why we picked those 2 dates is that a lot of people are still on vacation and not back completely. So it is a bit easier for me to free up those 2-3 hour windows, those 2 days. Usually I'm extremely busy and booked all the time, 3 weeks in advance, actually. So yes, Mike, and it's not for our brokers only. It's for anybody that wishes to partake.
No matter your banner.
No matter the banner, that doesn't matter the agency exactly.
All right.
Anything else?
Oh, he says thank you very much. So I think we're good to go.
Alrighty, so we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, Mike. Thank you,
you.
Gabriel.
Thank you, guys.
See you tomorrow.